I guess with spring practice kind of winding down, has this team accomplished everything this spring that you've hoped they would accomplish?
I don't know if you say the word everything. I thought that the scrimmage we had on Saturday was extremely productive. It was offensive oriented, which kind of balances out the last one. I think the spring has been extremely physical. And, we got a couple more practices here, or one more practice, where we get an opportunity to put it all on display on the spring game. So I'm looking forward to it.
Coach, I know a lot of the players, and you had mentioned at the beginning of practice that spring practice is kind of like Christmas in April, but now with the spring game on Friday, does it feel like you're about to open up the presents?
Yeah, I think once we get done with the summertime and we get done with the August practices, we may get an opportunity to unwrap a gift or two. But it's all a process. I thought they've done a really nice job. We've had some guys in and out, and but I think the people who've been out there have been giving fantastic effort. Now we get an opportunity to show it on the ACC network.
What do you hope to get out of the spring game come Friday?
Health. When we go in, we play. I want to start the same guys that go in. I want to come out with the same guys. That would be great for me.
Coach, what was your reaction seeing Sean Tucker getting that medical clear, being able to show his stuff right before the draft?
I'm excited about that. I hear rumors that he may be coming around here on a certain day, and there's going to be some guys that are going to sit there and watch him, and then everybody else is going to get to see what we already know, that he's a fantastic running back.
Coach, we saw Stephon Thompson in pads today. How's his recovery coming along? He's back to
coming good. He'll be back in fall. He'll be with the team during the summertime and all that kind of stuff. Some of those guys might have been able to go, maybe, but there's no sense in risking them this last week. So we'll push it over into the summertime and get them ready in August so we can open up in September with them.
Coach, on an unrelated to football note, Syracuse is one of 2 Power 5 schools that have a black football, men's basketball, and women's basketball coach. What do you think about Syracuse making strides in diversity, and how does it feel to be a part of an institution that is continuing to make strides in DEI?
You think back to the history of Syracuse, all the way back to the 50s with Jim Brown and Ernie Davis, and what being the first African-American to ever win the Heisman Trophy. And their history, and this city's history, and the community has always been strong in the diversity part of it. And when you look about the things that go on this campus, I think they continue that tradition. So it's always exciting to be with someone that's on the cutting edge of that stuff, where their mindset might be a little bit different than some other people in some other areas.
Dino, I know you don't love to talk about name, image, and likeness, but I'm curious how you think Adam Weitzman severing his ties with the university impacts your program at all.
I think the biggest thing is that the university understands that name, image, and likeness is something that we need to be a part of, and I think they're moving towards that.
So do you think the university is doing enough for your guys, but also all the athletes here, to keep up with other ACC Power 5 programs?
That's not a question I would answer live, and it's not a question I would answer. They're going to do the things they need to do to make us successful.
How do you make Syracuse attractive to transfers and keeping guys from transferring? I think that's something you'd mentioned earlier in spring practice.
I don't think that's the case. I think it's a situation where, from an academic standpoint, this degree sets you apart from everybody else. It's not just a national degree, it's an international degree. And I think when you look about the things that we have and the things that we have being built, it's going to be cutting edge, not only in the academic area, but also athletics.
You're about to have what could be your most players drafted.
I didn't even see you over there. I'm sorry. I don't mess your question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're about to have what could be their most players drafted coming up next week. What's that been like through this process, talking to teams and just kind of seeing that build up towards the draft?
It's been there's been a lot of talking to a lot of guys, taking up a lot of time, but it's worth it. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with those guys. I think that Garrett and Matthew, obviously they're really high on everybody's list. Sean's right there. Michael, I expect good things to happen with him. We're hoping that Rhino will be in that situation as well. And also the free agent part of it. When you get drafted in the top 3 rounds, you should make the team. The 4th round is kind of, okay, they could keep you, not keep you. But when you get 5, 6, 7, a lot of those guys get let go. So it's not a guarantee. And then that's the reason why so many free agents have an opportunity to make National Football League teams. So it'll be exciting to see what happens and how their story continues, so to speak.
How much is that part of your message, that Syracuse is a place that can send you to the National Football League?
Our philosophy is a little bit different than some other schools. And, we feel like the best guy is going to play no matter what. And you can come in here as a freshman. We've done it numerous times. And you can have the opportunity to come in here and start, where a lot of schools will say, no, we're going to redshirt you and do this and do that. It's just not something that I feel we should do. I think we should be a school where if you're good enough to come play, that you can play. And if you don't play, it's probably because there's something missing. Then you got an opportunity to correct the mistakes or correct your body so that you can have the fullest opportunity when you're eligible.
Dino, what should fans expect to see come Friday for the spring game?
You know, not a lot. You know, those things are televised and everybody's watching. I got through watching some games last night that are televised. They're all being taped at home. So we'll give the fans a little bit of something, but we'll definitely keep something in the back pocket as well.
Coach, there's another big day for Donovan Brown in practice today. How have you really seen his growth this spring?
You know, Donovan's interesting. He's made some growth. We got high hopes for him. He needs to become more consistent, but he is making plays out there. We're excited with his development.
Would you say he's in position to maybe crack the starting lineup this year, or still a little ways to go?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say that he's got a nice summer to get better and then a fall, and we'll see how it all ends up.
2 more for Coach. Coach, you guys lost both your starting cornerbacks last year, Garrett Williams and Bruce Chestnut. How's the cornerback room kind of showed out in spring practice?
Well, it's been competitive. They all understand there's 2 jobs open, not one, and if both of those guys were coming back, they may not be so happy. So with that opportunity, though, we need to see production. And there were some picks out here today. I don't know if you guys got in here early enough to see it. So those guys have been making some plays back there. It'll be fun to see this continue throughout the summer and then see how it ends up with August before we get ready for the first game.
And we heard that Wright's been practicing at the fullback position. Kind of what brought about that decision?
He's a big, strong guy. He's been doing some very impressive things off the football field in the weight room and our conditioning. We like the thing that he's been showing. So we want to give him an opportunity to try to pop a starting lineup because we think he's been buried a little bit in the position that he's at. So we decided to move him and see if we could get him on the field.
What's it like seeing a player like that make the strides from the walk-on, especially being a local guy?
Tommy, you jumped in there on that third question. I thought there was only going to be 2. I'll answer your question.
It's a follow-up, man.
Solve it, kid. I need you to squeeze it in.
Hey,
Beat me for cutting.
Sorry, Tyler.
one thing that we've always given is our walk-ons an opportunity to get scholarships. And when they show the right stuff, and we've had quite a few that's been able to do it, I think he's got an opportunity, Mr. Wright, to have an opportunity to do the exact same thing. So we're going to see how he can do. And if he does extremely well, he'll have an opportunity. Thank you, guys.